Hey, don't look now. But isn't it starting to feel like Alabama is back? And back in the sense that they're a new Alabama football team. They got a new brand of football they're playing. But doesn't it feel like they never really left? That Texas game threw us all for a loop. We got to see it in person, saw Texas be the better football team definitively on that day. But right now, the way that Alabama's playing, the way they beat Tennessee yesterday, in a bit of a comeback fashion, mind you, final score 34-20 in Tuscaloosa, I think Bama is back. And again, back like they never really left. First things first, make sure you're subscribed right here to the On3 YouTube channel. Alabama fans, had a ton of y'all join us here in the last couple of weeks. We're glad to have you here. It's ball and only ball, all right? No agenda, no high fructose corn syrup, no other agendas baked into this thing. It's just ball. So make sure you're subscribed right here. Also, make sure you're following me on Twitter and on Instagram at JD Piquel. We appreciate you in advance for that. So when it came to this game, man, like it started out, tip your hat to Tennessee because they came out swinging rivalry fashion. They knew they had to start fast. And they saw what Texas did to Bama, and it kind of felt that way early on. It kind of was like, okay, they're going tempo. They're being aggressive. They're taking shots downfield. Joe Milton looks dialed in, and you're like, oh, boy. Hey, Bama, what are we doing here? What's going on? Is this going to kind of be the same song, second verse, where another team comes into Tuscaloosa and takes what's theirs or believes what's theirs, rather takes what's yours, if you catch my drift? And you got to credit Alabama, man, because what I saw, the most encouraging thing from an Alabama fan watching yesterday's game, I saw a team draw a line in the sand and just say, nope, it's not going to be the way today goes. Talented team. You beat us last year, but one, this is Tuscaloosa. And two, we got some things we want to accomplish. And you beating us today stands in the way of that. And that's one of those things, too, where that wasn't something where they were drawing on the strength of a previous Alabama team, or they were drawing on the strength of the logo, or it was, the trophies they have up there in their trophy room in Tuscaloosa, Alabama. It was a thing that was internal, and it was this team's decision. I think a lot of it came from the defensive side of the ball. I think a lot of it came from Jalen Milroe, quite frankly, because Alabama going down 27 at the end of the first half, Alabama turns the water off. They don't score again. Like defensively, you felt like they really did a great job in that second half, keeping it all in front of them. I mean, heck, they got pressure with four guys, kept those linebackers sort of in that second level, and again, kept it all in front of them. They forced a lot of third and longs and just let their secondary work. It wasn't overly complicated. It wasn't next level complex. They weren't really trying to be, to my knowledge, at least at first watch, too exotic with trying to confuse Joe Milton. It was just a thing of like, hey, we're not going to reach. So if you make these shots, credit to you, but it's not going to be because we beat ourselves. We got really good players. We're going to let them play. Was kind of the sentiment that I got from this Alabama defense, especially in that second half. And they made a lot of plays, man, did Alabama. That team defense swarmed Tennessee, and Tennessee did a lot to try and go horizontal and get the defense flowing. And we talked about it during the week. If Alabama can play those horizontal plays honestly and rally to the football and keep that from being what hurts them and keeps that from allowing Tennessee to get into a rhythm, they're going to have a chance in this one. And that is exactly what happened in the second half. I mean, second half execution defensively for Bama, I mean, just like ratatouille, chef's kiss, phenomenal. Now, offensively, you knew Tennessee was going to be aggressive. And Tennessee, to be fair, got their jabs in there with what they did from a pressure perspective. But from what I saw yesterday for Alabama, they did a phenomenal job using the pressure and aggression of Tennessee against them. Like you saw pressure coming from that second or third level, just threw out of it to the perimeter. You had pressure coming off the edge, great, we're just going to pull it and get outside with Jalen Milroe. You're coming up field with pressure to the quarterback, fine, we're going to give it, go underneath you. Like it wasn't this drastic effort to try and just meet aggression with aggression. It was meet aggression with a little bit of sleight of hand, get around the corner, get out in space, just kind of a 6-inch movement outside of where you're coming from, and we're good. We're getting upfield. And so there's a lot of credit I think you got to give to the game plan. Got to give a lot of credit to the skill players of Alabama blocking the perimeter and making that a reality. And don't look now, but you got to give a lot of credit to Jalen Milroe. How are we talking about him after that Texas game to how we're talking about him now? I think he's evolving more and more into the Alabama passer that not necessarily the fan base wants, But I would say he's becoming the passer the Alabama team needs. 14 of 21, 220 yards, 2 touchdowns, and the box score is going to show an interception for Jalen Milroe. Anybody who watched that game saw that football hit Jermaine Burton in the shoulder pad and bounce off up into the air and get intercepted. It was a great throw. It was a great spot. One of those things that goes down as a pick for Jalen Milroe. Probably should go down as a pick for Jermaine Burton. I digress. Bottom line, he played a really efficient football game from what I saw. Made plays with his legs when he had to. Jalen Milroe right now is exactly what the doctor ordered for Alabama offensively. And they're operating in such a way at a skill player level to where his job is becoming increasingly more, I don't know if easy is the right word, but it's more executable with Isaiah Bond winning on the outside when you drop a matchup for him, when you got motion coming in, and he just smokes his guy one-on-one. Jalen Milroe hits the deep shot. Like, that was exactly what we talked about. Hey, there's going to be some plays downfield for Alabama. This is preseason, we're saying this. Can you hit the open shot? Jalen Milroe has shown he can hit the open shot and has made really good decisions increasingly week after week. So going forward for Bama now, you got the bye week. You got LSU coming to T-Town. That'll be a big one now. Huge one in the SEC. You go at Kentucky, you got Chattanooga, and then you're at Auburn to finish the year. Let me say this as clearly as I can. The team that lost to Texas in Tuscaloosa in week 2, they don't exist. Their season is done. They have long since hung it up. They're probably into the offseason at this point in time. That team we saw yesterday, that is a new Alabama team. That is a team that has evolved and learned from that loss, and week in and week out kind of taken their licks and developed and had a desire to get better based on what we've seen from a product standpoint yesterday. It would have been easy for Alabama to roll over. It would have been easy for them to say, oh, well, we're down 20-7. Can we score with them? Can we climb back out of this? They've kind of got momentum. Got a lot of guys probably going to get drafted from this team anyway. Like, I didn't see any of that. I saw a Bama team with a ton of fight, a Bama team that played for each other, a Bama team that was playing to the level of their talent for the most part and well-coached. And the thing about talented, well-coached football teams, they trend to play their best ball in November. You're going to hear me say that a lot on Tell the Truth Sunday. Playing your best ball in November is what it's all about. And so, again, that team that was from week 2, they're not here anymore. I don't think you want to play this Alabama team right now. Just my own feel on it, because it seems like they're really starting to click on all cylinders. So, for Alabama, a lot ahead of them. We said it in Tuscaloosa in Bryant-Denny Stadium in our post-game reaction. They had everything to play for after that loss, and they're playing like they have everything to play for right now after that win over Tennessee, exercising some of the just bad feelings, bad vibes from last year against this Tennessee team in Neyland. They were lighting up the cigars. Nick Saban was chewing his cigar, and a nice little snapshot for you as you head into the bye week if you're a Crimson Tide fan. Crimson Tide fans, like I said, make sure you subscribe right here. College football, only college football, the way that you want it. All right, make sure you're dialed in here, subscribe. Also, follow me on Twitter and on Instagram at JDPakel. Hey, we love y'all. We appreciate y'all. We're going to keep this party rolling. We will see y'all next time. Hey, y'all, thanks so much for watching. Subscribe to the channel here to make sure you don't miss an episode of The Hard Count. Also, be sure to check out other videos on the On3 YouTube channel.